Howdy y'all, my name is Price and welcome back to some more Slime Rancher. We're back, we're playing more. It is October 11th for me, so one day later for y'all. How you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good whatever you're experiencing right now. So we're back. I just woke up a little while ago, still a little tired. Chrissy went to work, time to record, as I do. I was thinking I'm going to take a little walk in a little bit, so I'm excited for that. But anyway, how you doing, y'all? Today, I'm not sure what we're going to get up to other than kind of the same things. I'm going around, decorating, looking for treasure pods, all that sort of thing. Finding science resources. I might go on a jellystone run today, actually, now that I think about it. I'm just cleaning up the pens now, as I often do. Gotta keep these plorts under control before they get too out of hand, right? Man, I wish I had drones. I wish I had the bees. So, I guess the other thing is I should go, well, it's only 23:01. So I don't know if, I don't know if there'll be a message yet. Yeah, it just shows the Wi-Fi. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to clean these out real quick. We're going to continue to let the chickens do their thing. We'll see what happens. It's getting pretty out of control down there. I can't wait until it's like 1 frame per second. We're like, oh my gosh, what have we done? Just ignore that part of the farm. Don't let it spread too far. The chicken starts spilling out the front, and it's like, no, hold them back. Oh, man. Anyway, how y'all doing out there? We've been having some fun with Slime Rancher over the past couple weeks. I've definitely been enjoying it. One thing I'm curious about, what happens when you pop one of these Gordos? Like, is there anything different from the previous game? So part of me thinks I want to pop this Gordo, see what happens. We'll say goodbye. Like, oh no, I just got here. But we'll bring you back. We'll bring you back. Don't worry. Remember, you're going to turn into like a bunch of little pink slimes. We'll launch you out into the slime sea. We'll get you back. Don't you worry. Okay? Sound good?
Yeah, I guess that's okay.
It's for experiments. It's for experiments. I'm sorry. Look, are you okay with it? I don't want to have you do this if, like, it's not something that you want to do.
No, I think that's really cool. You know, I'm going to be fine. It's just, you know, we're trying to see what happens. Also, exploding's kind of fun.
Oh, okay. Well, if that's the case. Anyway, let's go grab some foods. Because I would like to see what happens. Okay. Yeah, I figured there'd be a lot of food out here. I feel like there always is a ton of these pomegranates. So many plorts. So many flippin' plorts. Oh, man. Oh, geez. Oh, my. Okay, so I think one of the things we do need a lot of is jellystone. Because I think we need it for, like, almost everything we want. Like, refineries, we need it for decorations that we want. It's kind of like the basic building block material is what it feels like. So, hopefully I can make that happen, find a bunch of it, and, you know, we'll get as much as we can. All right, let's, we're going to go throw these away. Throw these away into the money trash, where it turns into gold. Could you imagine having a trash can like this you could just throw stuff into, and then guess what? It's money now? Wouldn't that be nice? Doot. Okay. I mean, I guess that's what a recycling machine is, huh? Where you recycle cans. Okay, anyways. Let's back up a little bit. Probably 30 points. Okay, there we go. What you got, bud? Bunch of pink slimes. And a pink-covered treasure thing. One of these guys. We got a bunny. And we got a food, and we got a hen. So, pretty much nothing. All right, so you're going to go in here. And then y'all are all going back into the sea, as I told you. All right? You are still going to be fine. All right, see y'all later.
Bye, prize.
You too. Bye. Okay, let's go check on these guys, just clear some stuff out, and then we'll head out. Oh, I meant to send this one off to its home. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to trust that it gets there. Pow! Oh, he totally got there. Okay. I like to think about the journey of that chicken flying through the sky. Just singing like a heroic song to himself, you know? He's like, there goes my hero. Just slowly flying. Oh, man. Oof, that's an old song. Some of y'all have no idea what that is. Oh, boy. I'm aging myself. Here we go. All right. They'll be fine. I didn't feed them directly, but my goodness, you'll eat at some point soon. Okay. So what's been new in my... Well, you know, as some of y'all know, I'm a big fan of the WWE. I like watching some wrestling. And there's been some good wrestling. There was a pay-per-view this weekend, or a premium live event, as they call them. I really enjoyed it. Wait, are we only down to one? Okay, no, they're here. So I could use a couple more fire slimes. Yeah, that's what... Why you guys hungry? That was one of the things I did this weekend. I really, really loved it. There's this wrestler who returned. His name's Bray Wyatt, and he plays a character called the Fiend, amongst others. Very cool horror style, like monster villain. And I know a lot of you are like, "Oh my gosh, Price, wrestling is so embarrassing. What is that? Why are you? What is going on?" It's so much fun, y'all. It's so much fun. I'll put it this way. So there's a wrestling place that Fletch, my older brother, and I go to here up in Seattle, so like not too far from us, and it's called Defy Wrestling. And so we go to these like local shows with these guys who like they're on like they're big time indie wrestlers. For those of y'all who don't follow or watch wrestling, you can consider it like the sort of like a mixture between like amateur leagues and college leagues, where it's sort of, this is where people can create a career, but it's also where people who are like just about to be able to go to the quote unquote big leagues like WWE or AEW, this is where they're wrestling, is places like this. So I get to see a lot of these big wrestlers before they're like fully in WWE or in AEW. And so it's really neat to see them now, like as I'm watching, it's like all these people that I actually watched over the years back in person. So anyway, it's a ton of fun. The way I see it, okay, and this is how I'll sell it to y'all, okay? Selling it, you don't have to buy it, but here's how I'm selling wrestling, okay? It is not two people fighting or four people fighting or any amount of people fighting. That's not what it is. It is two or more incredibly gifted athletes who are performing feats of impressive strength and agility and acrobatics, doing so in a choreographed fashion that is similar to, you know, almost like a circus or like a Cirque du Soleil or something along those lines, just that it's told through the language of combat. Does that make sense? Does what I just said make sense? It is a play that is done in the context of fighting. Ooh, let's get some phosphors. Let's buy that. Anyway, that's how I've always seen it. Like ever since I was a child, I've watched it with my brother, and you know, I've always seen it as basically like it's comic books. It's comic books acted out, but it's basically comic books. The stories are so ridiculous and over the top, but wonderful. The characters can range from a dude who's literally a fighter, like an MMA guy, fighting like a zombie man, fighting like a Secret Service agent, you know, like any character you can think of, they can be in there, you know, a plumber fighting a literal demon. It can happen, all right? And yet the plumber's on the same level. Heck, give the plumber his trusty wrench and suddenly he's the greatest superhero of all time, right? That kind of stuff. It's silly. It's absolutely silly, and I absolutely love it. Anyway, so that was part of what I got up to this weekend. What else is going on? I'm trying to think about what we did yesterday, and I think actually most of our day yesterday, Chrissy and I spent cleaning. Every now and then it happens where you just kind of get that urge to clean. Chrissy got that urge yesterday. And so we went, I'm glad we did. I am glad we did. We went around, we moved so much stuff in this apartment. Chrissy did so much organizing and everything like that to get everything just perfect. And like, I really appreciate having Chrissy, who's someone who does that and likes to do that and is really gifted at it, because I've never been great at like organizing like things in my space and whatnot, because I'm the kind of person who just likes to be able to see everything, so I know it's there, which is, an ADHD trait. Not all ADHDers have it. Chrissy has ADHD, but she has the other side where she wants it to be organized and clean. So yeah, I appreciate the heck out of Chrissy, not only for doing that, but for making me do it too. But I don't want to undermine that she did most of the work. So you know what? We're going to go ahead and say comment of the day. I love you, Chrissy. Thank you so much. All right, everybody go ahead. Just say it. You know you do. I love Chrissy. Thank you so much. That's a comment of the day. So yeah, anyway, so that's what we kind of did yesterday. And that was kind of the day. Other than that, for fun, I've been playing some Astroneer. I think I might have mentioned this yesterday. I played a lot more. Well, I might have mentioned it in yesterday's episode. I played a lot more yesterday because y'all are always behind a little bit. It's been a lot of fun. They have made so many positive changes to it, and I can't get over how good it is. I can't stop. I'm probably gonna stream it this week, where y'all, if you're watching this, you probably have already seen it, that I did that. Oops, wrong stuff. So yeah, it's something that I've been really into lately. Ash and I played it on stream, and it's just one of those things that like, oh, it landed right in front, so close. And yeah, you get the bug sometimes when you're playing a game. You're just kind of like, I want to play that game. So yeah, because before that I was playing a lot of Grounded, because we're playing that as a group, which I think we'll get back to this week or next. I'm not positive. I'll have to check, to be honest. But anyway, so Grounded, we've been having a lot of fun playing that. That game's amazing. I would totally be down to play that for y'all as well, if that's something you're interested in. Like I said, I'm thinking of doing, this main series, Slime Rancher every day. That's the plan. I should probably just start calling it that, Slime Rancher every day. So this is going to be every day. That's the plan, right? So you'll always at least get a Slime Rancher. I want to also play other things. So I'm thinking like what I'll do is I'll do sort of like a stream of something. So like Astroneer or something like that. Spread it out across a week. See what y'all think. Maybe do a poll. Maybe we'll do a couple of streams a month and then do a poll, something like that. And, see if there's anything that y'all want to see again, or if we just keep trying new things. I feel like that'll give me the freedom to continue to focus on Slime Rancher, which is my goal, right? This is what I want to really be focusing on. But also to be able to try new games, I don't want to stick myself only to Slime Rancher, because there could be other great games that y'all want to see and that I want to play. I play a lot of games. What can I say? I have ADHD. I switch from one to the next to the next to the next constantly. While I'm playing this, I'm also playing through Final Fantasy IX again for probably the 10th time, 12th time in my life. I don't know. Been playing that game since it launched. So Grounded, Astroneer, 2 games I plan on streaming soon. Like I said, I might play Astroneer with Emma, so maybe I'll stream Grounded. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a poll before I stream today. But regardless, those are some games I've been thinking of, but there's others that I'd be totally down to play. Would love to hear what y'all say. I know a lot of y'all still want to see me finish Epic Chef, which I would love to at some point. It's been so long, I'm going to have to like reacclimate myself to it. So when we do pop back, it'll be a slow thing, but I would like to. I don't know when it's going to happen. I can't promise you that it's going to happen anytime soon, but I want you to know it's in my mind. It is something that I've been thinking about. Same thing with House of Da Vinci. I know I started playing House of Da Vinci 2, and I didn't finish that. I got, a few episodes into it and then stopped. Again, like I've said many a time before, depression rears its ugly head, and then my series, they go dead. Both of those I want to do, especially because House of Da Vinci, a lot of y'all have let me know, House of Da Vinci 3 has come out on mobile. So that's a really good excuse, I think, to try and play through the second one and prepare for the third one. I think the third one's only on mobile. I'm not positive. But yeah, even if it is, I would be willing to make that work through like BlueStacks or something. But, it still might be some time. So I just want y'all to know, those of y'all who really want to watch that, and, you've been really waiting for me to do it. I'm sorry. For sure. I'm very sorry. I know exactly what it's like to have someone who's a YouTuber, streamer, creator of some sort, make something that you really, really love, that you really enjoy and look forward to, and then they kind of they stop mid-thing, it sucks. I'm sorry. I get it. I understand the frustrations. But yeah, I mean, that's that. I like I said, I can't guarantee it'll happen. I can't guarantee, I can't tell you when it would happen if it does. But at least know that I'm aware of the complaints and I fully understand them. I fully empathize. I 100%. It has happened to me. So yeah. So the games I've been playing, right? I said Grounded, I said Astroneer, I said Final Fantasy IX. So Final Fantasy IX, for all of y'all out there who, I realize now, the Final Fantasy generations have totally shifted at this point, right? There's probably a lot of y'all who have only played Final Fantasies that have had voices in them. That's probably not that shocking. If you started with 10 plus, you've always had voices in your games. I gotta read everything in Final Fantasy IX. But anyway, the Final Fantasy games, they are incredible. If you've never played any Final Fantasy games, I would strongly suggest it. I would also strongly suggest playing some of the earlier ones. Not to get all, games were better in my day, but it's more like the content and the style of games that they are. The earlier ones are more whimsical. Final Fantasy 15 was very serious and just focused on a very realistic looking world, realistic looking characters, realistic kind of concepts. Even though it's still Final Fantasy, it's still got the monsters and things. It just had a very different vibe. But each Final Fantasy has its own vibe, so that's fair, right? That's totally okay. I'm not dissing on 15, but I would say if you want to see kind of the opposite end of the Final Fantasy spectrum from 15, go play 9. 9 takes place in a whimsical, magical world. I would compare it most. I would compare it most to Eberron from D&D. So if you are watching our D&D series, Hero Squad, we're playing it within the context of Eberron. And in Eberron, there's this thing where instead of having power engines and steam engines and things like that, pretty much everything in Final Fantasy IX, it's based off this stuff called Mist, which is sort of like a nebulous, magical substance, right? But it has some drawbacks. And then in Eberron, it's elementals. Instead of using steam engines or magic or whatever, they do use a lot of magic, but it's because everything is more based on harnessing elementals and whatnot and using that energy. And so instead of steam power, it's magic power, right? And all the other types of magic and arcana can fall into it. So it's, magic power instead of steam power. That's basically that. That's one thing that they share in universe. The other thing, though, is that it's this bright, beautiful world. All the characters are these adorable, I would almost say they're wearing almost Renaissance, Enlightenment style clothing. Maybe 1700s, I guess. is what it feels like. It may be further out. I mean, it's always a mixture. It's always an amalgamation. But visually, it's cool. The graphics, or I mean, the visually, it's cool. The graphics, they're just reminiscent for me. But I meant the characters are awesome. The Final Fantasy series, if there's one thing that they do right, it's characters. Like, you get to know and you become close with and understand these characters at a deep level. So yeah, I love those games. Replaying Final Fantasy IX, the ones of my childhood, the ones that I grew up on, that I would call like my Final Fantasies, the ones that I played a ton of, are like 6 through 12. That's pretty much it. 13 I love too. 15, I'll be honest, I have not played. I've only watched it be played. That more has just been like a time thing, and B, like whenever I want to play that game, there's always something else that's on my mind. So like I said, I'm not dissing 15. I can't even make a judgment on it, but I do know it falls within the more serious Final Fantasies, like Final Fantasy VIII, where Final Fantasy VIII compared to Final Fantasy IX, Final Fantasy VIII was in like a super serious setting, and the characters were in like realistic proportions, and you know, it dealt with things in a much more realistic manner. So there's just a certain level of like the Final Fantasies, they kind of bounce back and forth between how magical and how realistic they are. Each one has its own vibe, and that's kind of cool. Like I would say FF6, man, I'm just talking about Final Fantasy today, I guess, at least for the beginning of this. Let's go to, where did we go last time? Were we in the Amber Valley? Let's go to the Rainbow Starlight Strand then. I honestly can't remember where we went last time. It's been a day, but my memory says that never happened. So like Final Fantasy 6, 7, and 8, mostly 7, have a really dark tone. Like 7 basically feels like it takes place during an apocalypse and like the world sucks. Like it's basically what it feels like. FF8 is like a little more, it's a mysterious world. There's structures in place, but I think it feels a little more stable of a world. Obviously all of them deal with like world ending events and whatnot, but compared to 7, it feels like a much more stable world. Like I said, FF9 is a wonderful, magical place. FF10 is actually really cool for a setting. It's like a very like island, I would say, inspired, like Pacific Island. Basically all of the Pacific Islands kind of inspired. Maybe Southeast Asia as well. But so it has this really neat style, very water focused. All the clothing that they wear have these really nice designs, everything like that. So visually, it's got a really cool style. And then like character and world, like I would say it's actually closer to 9 than like 8 or 7 in that it's a little more whimsical, a little more upbeat. There's some weirdness to it, as there always is, but it's great. And I guess for those of y'all who have never played Final Fantasies, I guess it is important to point out that every single one is an individual game. You do not have to play a single Final Fantasy to play any other Final Fantasy, unless it's directly stated, because there is a sequel to 10 called 10-2, and there are 2 sequels to Final Fantasy 13, which is Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns is one of them, and I can't remember the others. And those, I have not played the Final Fantasy 13 sequels. I have wanted to over the years. Maybe that's something we get into eventually, y'all. Maybe it's something we get into eventually. But 9 is definitely up there, one of my faves, if not my favorite. Probably is. Now, I'll say it. Final Fantasy 9 is my favorite Final Fantasy. I rarely commit to things like that, but I can't argue with the facts there. And it came out at the same year, the same summer as Chrono Cross, my favorite RPG of all time. And so that summer, I had both of those games, and let me tell you, that was the gaming summer of my life, and nothing will ever compare. Now, that said, I was also like a teenager. I was like 12, 13, or 14. Can't remember. I'm trying to remember what house I was in. I'm trying to remember where I played it. I'm trying to remember what was going on. I'd have to look at the time. I was probably like 12. there's a thing, you know, we'll not get too deep into the psychology part of it. I know we always come back around to psychology because what can I say? I studied it for 12 years. It's like, it's a third of my brain. We tend to form some of the closest emotional connections to people, places, and things when we're in our teenage years. I think I've talked about this before. When you start going through puberty, your emotional portions of your brain, the part of your brain that produces emotions, goes way up. That's right. It's way more active. It grows exponentially, right? It just has like this huge boost. Whereas like your logical parts of your brain, the ones that would control your emotions, for example, those grow a lot slower. So when you're in that 12 to 16 range, it's different for everyone, right? Everybody goes through puberty at different times. You know, you could go through it at an incredibly young age, which is a scary thing, but it does happen. But the average would be somewhere in between that, like 11 to like 15 or 16 is when you start and go through and finish puberty. Like I said, not the same for everyone. I wasn't done with puberty until I was like 18 or 19. During that time, because your emotions are like heightened to the greatest degree and you don't really have the ability to control and bring down those emotions, you form incredibly important emotional connections to things during that time. There's a reason it seems like no one else can understand the world quite the way you're experiencing it, and it's because you're experiencing it at like the most heightened level you might ever, in terms of forming connections like that. And that's not to like make us older individuals feel like, oh no, we'll never be able to recapture that again. It's not that you won't be able to form connections like that or appreciations for things like that. It just won't happen so easily, so readily. Like, I'll put it this way. If someone told me that they didn't like Final Fantasy IX and they played it like last year and maybe they were like 20, I would be like, yeah, that's probably right. You know, like I can't really make a totally fair assessment because of my deep emotional connection to the game. Oh, come on. Really? You won't let me get up that way? Ugh. All right. I'll get you, my pretty. All right, so I'm doing the thing where I want to like go around the roots here, like I said last time that we were out here. So that's what I'm doing. Also looking for honey, which we're finding actually a good amount of. So long story long, play Final Fantasy. They're all fun. I enjoy them. I should get around to playing 15. But Final Fantasy IX and Chrono Cross, they're kind of my comfort games. I love them. And I'll say, it's not like gosh, what am I trying to say here? I'm playing them not because I need comfort right now. I guess that's what I'm saying. It's just like they are comforting. I didn't want to make that sound like, oh, I'm like I'm reaching out or anything. I'm not. I'm okay. I'm good. Nothing going on there, okay? It's always like one of those things like being an ADHD person, I overanalyze the things I say and then wonder, hello, Nectar, and then wonder if they came off appropriately. Okay. Looking around. I just feel like there should be one like nestled in there, right? Like, doesn't it feel like they'd sneak one right under there? It's a place you could get to, but not like that easy. Okay, so we still got 2 more. I guess we're going to look around in the end zone. We're going to go... Come on, map. Here we go. This area, maybe. Oh, I think I said last time we're going to look through here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, the tars. Was that one... Did I already get you? I did. Yeah, you're not dripping. Okay, we're going that way? No, this way. And... I just realized I'm up here. I'm not looking, all right? I'm just looking forward. I'm not looking around for things, and that's how I get myself into trouble. Looking. There's more honey out that way. gotta get it. Right? Can't turn it down. Can't turn it down. You know what we'll do? We'll grab this. I was going to say we'll put it in the refinery, but no. I don't want to jump down there. It's going to reset my progress. It's like I didn't hit the save point, y'all. Yeah, I'm trying to think what other... Like, it really was Final Fantasy X and Chrono Cross were the big ones for me that year. There were a couple of other games that have left at least a lasting impact. I wouldn't say that I loved them as much, but like Vagrant Story is one that I also got that year. Really neat game, if none of y'all ever played it. The control scheme, it's interesting because you could almost call it like a pre-MMO kind of thing, because it's very active, like you're moving around and everything. But then it does this thing where like your turn comes up, right? Like your meter fills, and then time essentially pauses, and like a bubble appears around you, and it's like that's your range. And so within that range, you do your abilities. Anyway, it was a really neat way of doing a JRPG, and back then it was like the peak time of JRPGs. For those of you who don't know what that means, it's Japanese RPG. That was the term used to describe turn-based RPGs. I might go down there real quick. Turn-based RPGs, and specifically they were all coming out of Japan at that time. So they were called JRPGs, Japanese RPGs. Whereas Western RPGs were seen as things like Diablo or Baldur's Gate or whatever, where you're one individual who goes through and does all the leveling up and actions. Whereas JRPGs usually have a party. That's pretty much the big difference. Oh, and then turn-based versus real-time. Western RPGs were seen as like real-time, and Japanese RPGs were seen as turn-based. Just like, in general, like just as a pattern of how they were made. It sort of just was the way things were back in the 90s, I guess. It's weird, like, to think about it, but it's like, yeah, there really were differences in styles across the different countries. Mostly it was the West and Japan as, like, the different styles that were, like, kind of popular and emulated at the time. But now, anybody makes anything, which is great. I think that's the way it should be. Everybody should feel free to just make whatever game that they want to make. And not feel like you're limited by, like, what people around you want, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And that I love JRPGs. That's the other thing I was trying to say. I really love them. It's been a while since I've played one, like, a recent one, though, that I've enjoyed. I love this little mushroom here. And that's probably from lack of trying. I haven't, like, looked that hard. But also, you know, there's something to be said about I only really want to play the turn-based RPGs that I grew up on. Otherwise, I don't really like turn-based RPGs. And I think that says a lot about what I was talking about earlier about, like, your emotional connection to stuff. Should we get up on top of these ruins, maybe? Ooh, more honey. Or just buzzwax. But still, buzzwax ain't bad. Okay. I feel like this area is promising. I feel like I haven't spent a ton of time over here. Then again, I've been everywhere a bunch, and none of it has mattered. I'm just kidding. We found most of them. Okay. Get up my energy. All right, I can drop down here because we've seen that guy. Okay. I'm going to take one little second to get my energy back, and then we're going to do another little fly out. I was talking to Chrissy about this, how some of y'all were like, oh my gosh, Price, every time you do that, my heart stops. I was telling Chrissy that, and she was like, oh, I do that all the time. You gotta live, y'all. You gotta live on the edge. All right, nothing down there. I think we did maybe find one over here. Yeah, that was not too long ago. Okay. So we'll keep going this way. Yeah, I did get up there, yeah. I was like, oh, look at those. I was like, wait, that is literally where I just was. Okay. So, let me check in this little corner. I know I've been in here, but, like, I haven't, like, thoroughly looked in that little zone over here. Get out of here. Get out of here. I'm walking here. Well, more flying. Floating, I guess. All right, looking good. Oh, I didn't make any decorations before I came out here. Whoops. We'll make some next time. Okay, back in here. I feel like there should be one in this little mushroom forest zone, right? Like if you look at the map as like little zones, right, that are broken up, like we found one over here. There was one here, right, in this zone. But now we're in like a different zone. So I feel like there should be one somewhere around in here. But, you know, maybe not. That's just me making stuff up. There can be multiples in one of those zones. And there can be none in one of those zones. Oh, man. You know, it's funny. I was thinking of this the other day. This just popped into my head. Because in my head, I just thought to myself, don't go into the no zone. Like, that's what, like, a phrase that just popped into my head. And the reason that I have that in my head is it was like a thing that I was taught in driver's ed about you don't want to drive in the blind spot of a semi-truck, essentially. So they called it the no zone. So don't go into the no zone. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to tell y'all right now, okay? I'm pulling out my grandfather voice. Boy, Price, I'm going to tell you right now, okay? Things like that, like little phrases and little like jingle type things or whatever to help you remember things, they work so well. I have jingles and songs and stuff stuck in my head from when I was like 5 that tell me to do things properly. All right? There is a thing in my head right now I will say to you. I don't know if any of y'all have heard this because it was, I think, an ad campaign in the 90s around when I was watching Captain Planet. But there was this little jingle, and it went, recycle, reduce, reuse, and close the loop. Right? It was basically saying, like, you gotta recycle and close the loop of waste. Right? Recycle, reduce, reuse, and close the loop. Right? Like, simple. Simple. And it stuck with me for my entire life. Guess what? I recycle. It worked. And I'm glad it did. I'm glad it did. And so I think stuff like that, you know, like don't go into the no zone, all that kind of stuff, it sticks with you in a really positive way. Any of y'all who watched G.I. Joe back in the day, if you're around my age, those PSAs at the end of G.I. Joe, if you watched it, you probably remember a few. Be sure to turn off your burner after making something, and also don't use your stove when your parents aren't home, right? That kind of stuff. Yeah, I learned that from G.I. Joe. What did y'all learn it from? I guess the other thing to say is like, back then, for those of y'all who were really young, back then, when I was a kid, basically if you were a kid in the 80s and early 90s, you were often what's called like a latchkey kid, where like, you're just sort of left at home to kind of like, because you're, you know, expected to be able to take care of yourself essentially. And so, you know, you do when you're that age, like you figure it out. Like it doesn't start when you're like 4. It's like once you're like, I don't know, 7 or 8, they're like, okay, now you got to figure things out. So that's honestly, I think that's where a lot of people around my age have kind of like learned a lot of stuff was from TV, you know, from the PSAs and what would you call it? These sort of just like scientific and informational stuff that can pop up on there, right? Stuff like Sesame Street. Okay, Sesame Street is a show made deliberately. I mean, this is let's go into the history of this, all right? Sesame Street was made in order to provide a space where kids from poorer neighborhoods, those who are of low socioeconomic status, and thus who didn't have access to good schools, the ability to learn and have good education. That's why Sesame Street was made, to help those kids who were doing the worst because of their situation and poor access to resources and education itself, to bring them up. That was its purpose. It actually ended up working for everyone, right? Not just those kids, but even the kids who were already doing well, they started doing even better because Sesame Street taught them stuff in a fun and interesting way. And so that's the other part, is like these types of things. Oh, My alarm's going off. It's not 2 o'clock. It is 9 a.m. I'm up early today. Just kidding. I'm up at like 6 every day. Yeah, those kinds of things where they're entertaining and they kind of like grab you like that. We're taking our time over here because I know I haven't spent too much time here. They last, right? They stick with you. Like a lecture can do a lot. Hey, look at that. One more down. Nice. Nice. Y'all, every episode. Hey, cool. We can get our power chip up. Nice. So yeah, like a lecture can work, all right? But what really works is having an entertaining instructor, right? Someone who can make it worth remembering, make it fun. Back when I was teaching, for those of y'all who don't know, I used to teach at a university. I taught perception and human development as I studied psychology and got my master's in psychology, developmental psychology specifically. So I used to teach. I taught for probably like 5 years, maybe 6, at a university here. And I was very, very adamant, and I tried incredibly difficult to make sure that I was funny. Whenever I would talk about stuff, and whenever it would be a moment where it would feel like eyes are starting to glaze over, it's like every like 4 or 5 minutes, you got to sneak a joke in there. You gotta make psychology funny. You gotta say something about yourself that's self-deprecating and makes people laugh. You gotta find a way to get people engaged again. Because when people are engaged and they think, oh, this is funny, and they're in a happy mood, everything like that, they're way more receptive to listening to you and to taking stuff in because there's this heightened emotional state, right? If it's all low energy, low level, just information being told to you, right? For some people that works. For a lot of people it doesn't. But the high energy, entertaining, etc. style works far more for everyone. So that's another part of it, is it's about like the engagement, you know? So anyway, long story long, in order to learn things, you need to be able to enjoy it, or at least that's the best way to learn. The best way to learn is to do so in a fun way, in a way that's engaging specifically to you. Gosh darn it. Screw it. I'm not going to go grab that one. I just don't want to jump on the ground. Okay. But yeah. So anyway, that's that stuff. The other thing, I should jump down there even though I'm 90% sure we've gotten everything. Oh, did I make the pink portal? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. If I did, then it's going out here. Because this is like the opposite side of the map. And I can't put one up here, huh? Oh, that's too bad. I would have loved to. Maybe, you know what, honestly, they're probably going to put something else there. Warp. I didn't make it. Well, I don't need to use a home portal right now, so let's not. I can put one next to the... Oh, I thought that was stuff. I can put one next to the ringtail. So we're down to 1 left, huh? 2 left. Oh, I thought we had only 2 left here. That must be the Ember Valley. Well, we still got 1 more. 2 more left here. We're getting there though, y'all. And I'm happy that we're doing it on our own. Like I've said previously, no judgments, and there's nothing to be ashamed of if you go and look this stuff up. Everybody should play the games the way that they want, and they should not feel pressured to play them any other way. Like I'll tell y'all, I'm playing Final Fantasy IX, but you know what I'm doing? The newer versions of Final Fantasy IX have like auto battle and stuff like that. So you know what I'm doing? When I'm grinding, I'm not paying attention. I'm running around in circles, letting it auto fight while I'm doing something else. Why? Because I've done the grind. I've done it a million times. I don't want to sit here and do it, so I'm playing the game the way I want to. Like, you know, just do it. Just do it. A lot of games, I like to play on easy mode. All right? Or narrative mode or whatever. Why? Because that's what I want to... How did we not get this before? How did I not get this before? Well, I'm glad I came down here for no flipping reason. I looked at it and I was like, I know we've been down here because I opened it. Well, shoot. I'm glad I went down there. Holy butts. I was just here. I was like, you know, I haven't been down there in a while, and I'm searching everywhere. Wow. Wow. You know what? Let's go back up to the butterfly, or to the flutter Gordo area. We are going to go down in that pit and triple check, because holy crap. I thought, the things I thought I had done. The things I thought I had done. Do, 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 do. Ooh, ooh, how high up can we get, y'all? We will do it in a second, but holy butts. I'm gonna give myself a second. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There's gotta be an invisible wall here or something. Oh, 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 we're up. We're up. Okay. Well, this is higher than we've ever been. I mean, Chrissy has told me that she's been able to get up there, and now I'm starting to believe. Okay, I think we can get onto that. Huh. Come on. Oh, yeah. We're getting on top of this. Okay. Where's the next step? Like right there, maybe? Heck yeah. Oh, y'all. This is great. The view from above. Like here, maybe? Unless there's a spot around here. I don't think I can get that high. Yeah, that's above flight height. Top of the world, though, y'all. Look at that volcano off in the distance. My goodness. So ominous. Okay. I'm doing a little jump, or a little boost, because I feel like you get off to like a faster move. Oh, oh. No, no, no. I was there. I was there. Invisible wall? Invisible wall. Let's try again. Let's try again. Huzzah! Okay. I'm clearly above it, right? Clearly. Oh, oh! It felt like there was give. It felt like there was a small bit of give there. Hold on. We're going to try one more time. Because, I mean, Chrissy told me you can get all the way up. You can get all the way up on top. So we're going to try it, y'all. All right, we're going to come from the very highest point here. Okay, I'm like way up here, right? Yeah, that ain't happening. Okay. Where else could I get? I mean, this could be as high as you can get, but I believe that when Chrissy said you can get all the way up there, she meant all the way up there. So I'm going to have to ask her the secrets. The secrets of flight. Anyway, well, that's where I wanted to get. Whee! All right, let's jump down here. Like I said, 99.9% sure we got all the things that were in here because this was a very important room to open. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Okay. Hey, little guy. Oh, man, that reminds me. I'm waiting on my new plushies, y'all. I'm waiting on my new plushies. They're on the way. I'm waiting for my baddie. I'm waiting for the U2's ones, which should hopefully be here soon. I've been getting shipment notifications and stuff. It's been a while since I ordered them. I mean, I think they took a while for them to get into production because I pre-ordered them, obviously, like everybody else. So, oh, you know what? Let's see what this one has to say. The breach is so much smaller now, it fills me with hope. I remember when I first found it, I just walked right into the labyrinth and began exploring its endless gray halls. Oh. I need to shut the door tight behind me. I can't let it all happen again after coming this far. Can't let it all happen again. I thought I wasn't going to find a way into this place, but there's a huge hole in the wall on this end, big enough for an elephant to pass through. I think it's time I finally did some exploring inside the structure. This feels just like when I was a kid and I'd sneak into the woods. It'll be just me and my discoveries. I feel very good. And excited. Let's see. So, okay. So when we got here, or when Gigi got here, they were excited. Wait. So it's Gigi and BB, right? No, just Gigi. Just Gigi. So the when Gigi first got here, they were like exploring the this whole thing, right? That's what they were up to. They were just exploring. What's through here? Or is this where I came in? Oh no, this is that way out. That's right. There's a second way out. I forgot about that. Okay. So Well, y'all, I'm already stoked that we found that one. Like, let's be real. I'm getting... Or no, we found 2, right? Yeah, we have 1 more left. We have 1 more left. That's awesome. Like legitimately, I expected we were going to have several episodes of me finding none and then eventually going, all right, it's time to look them up. And that may happen for these last few, but dang ol' if I ain't excited that we have been able to do it on our own, just searching. And you know, I mean, y'all help because y'all tell me like, Price, I can't believe you missed one. And I'm like, okay, where was I? Ah, that noise they make. Ah, it gets me every time. Okay. But yeah, I do feel like this area, there's so much stuff in it that I haven't necessarily stopped and looked at every little corner, right? Because there's like the ringtail and there's the flutter and there's like all these different slimes everywhere. It's a very active zone. And I feel like in these active zones, it's easier for me to get distracted. Shocker, right? Me? Distracted? Wait, what's that? No, kidding. So yeah. Oh, what are you? Oh, a dead one. Okay. Just trying to look like, are there any like little ledges that I, you know, just like little ledges, unassuming, nothing's going on here types of ledges, like this one that I'm currently on. Because those ledges, those are treasure ledges. Treasures, if you will. Treasure. Okay. Nothing down there, I don't think. Oh, actually, what's below the bridge? Anything below the bridge? Below the bridge would be a good spot. If you had like a little shelf under there. Nah. Like I saw that, but I know it's not over here. I've been here, right? But like down here, this kind of spot, not a bad spot for one. Okay, nothing under the stairs. Nothing up here. All right. Just being very thorough. Being very thorough. Look at all the little spots. All right, I will put a home portal here. I don't want it to be in a spot where I'm just going to run into it. So yeah, we'll put it down here. We'll do red. I think red's appropriate next to the ringtail. That noise. Y'all got to stop. All right, let's do a float. Nothing. There's that edge over there. I'm 90% sure I've been over there. I know I've been over there because I remember being like, oh, there's going to be one over here. And then there wasn't. And I was like, really? Aw. Okay. Do. Huh. Okay. One more. So that's down to the angler, right? So we don't need to go down there just yet. We know we went in there last time. Actually, I went in there a couple of times, right? Because I ended up accidentally circling around it a couple of times, too. Get out of your towers! The Dominator's come! Oh my gosh! Look, it must be Judgment Day. All the towers are here. Tarmageddon has begun again. The cycle is endless. The slimes, they play. The towers, they slay. They fear the Dominator. Honey Slime, come with me if you want to live. Yay! Smiles. Got that one. What was it that just flew off of here? Is this where the angler thing comes out? Yes. Okay. I thought it was. Like, I knew I had, like, been through a spot like that recently. So I was like, okay. It's one of those. All right, let's grab these. I still feel like it'll be worth looking in this area. We're coming to the end of the episode here. I'm going to start saying my goodbyes because I need to go take a break. And that's about it. and we've gotten our timing in. All right, yeah, I knew we would have gotten the one in here, but you always got to check. Whee! Wow, they launch you up super high on that one. That's cool. Good to know. So going into the angler cave is good if you just want to get launched up super high. But yeah, y'all, with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, of course, leave a like, comment down below. Remember, the secret comment of the day is, Chrissy, I love you. Thank you so much. Subscribe if you're not already, because that helps. And if you feel like it, the thing that helps the most is if you go and watch another one of my videos. That really does let the algorithm know that you're liking what you're seeing. And then so it tells the rest of YouTube that, hey, people like seeing this guy's stuff. So then it's more likely to put it places in front of people's eyeballs. So, yeah. Beyond that, y'all, most importantly, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I have been Price, and I will see y'all, oh no, next time. Nothing here?